just not 4 quarters of football way too many times. Today, tonight we had a couple good quarters and a couple of stinkers. That's just not consistent winning football. So we got to figure out offensively what happened there in the second half and get ready for a good football team coming in.
Aaron Nagler. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pete. You have a follow-up?
If I could just
Sure.
follow that up. Do you have any kind of initial thoughts on what might have happened with the offense there in the second half?
Well, we started off good on third down. We couldn't hit a third down. We didn't run it as well, obviously, in the third quarter. They played very soft in the secondary and couldn't find a way to get Devontae involved a little bit more, which I think hurt some of our production. And, there's a couple of breakdowns in protection. It looked like, I think the first drive, big-time hands to the face there on Lucas. That would have kept, obviously, been an automatic first down and kept a drive going. But I don't know, we're going to have to look at it. It just, nothing felt good. The energy was a little off, and we obviously had the 3 and outs.
Aaron Nagler.
Aaron, I'm sure my colleagues will pick apart a lot of what happened there in the second half, but I want to know, did you invent the look to the wide receiver who isn't there on the RPO and then keep it for a first down play tonight?
That luckily is not going to go in the blooper reel because I was able to somehow make a cut and not fall down short of the first down. So it turned into a positive gain. Definitely not how we drew it up at all. I thought Alan and I were on the same page. We obviously weren't. Then I went into freak out mode for a second and realized there was kind of a hole there. Maybe I should see if I can get some yardage here. I wasn't planning on running anybody over or taking anybody, taking anybody on head on. But when I moved to the right, I was able to get a couple positive yards.
Matt Schneidman.
Aaron, I know you've said a couple times this season you guys owed the defense after last year. Did you feel the defense owed you guys one, and would tonight qualify as one of those?
Tonight was definitely a stinker for the offense. The third and fourth quarters, our defense played well. Big, the play of the game was the fumble. They were going in to make it 14-10. Kev picks it up, and next thing I was 21-3. I'm not a big believer in teams lightening up or losing focus. Just comes down to execution, and we didn't execute starting the second half, and that's why they got back in the game. Mute yourself. That's what I'm thinking.
Jason Wilde.
Aaron, you kind of answered my question before I could ask it because there is always that assumption of, you let your foot off the gas or whatever when something like this happens. So if it is execution, why did you struggle so much to execute after you looked like you guys were executing perfectly on those first 3 drives?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we need to go back and look at it. Even though we were obviously very efficient running the football, we need to keep finding ways to get Devontae involved because he's such a difference maker. And he didn't feel like we were able to get him involved a whole lot tonight. Now, obviously, they really didn't give him a lot of single coverage, maybe 1 or 2 plays the entire game. But we got to keep finding ways to get him the ball because he's just so dynamic. And we'll look at all of it. It is frustrating, but we're 11-3. We won the game. That's a good problem to have. We just know that type of football in the second half, not going to get it done in the playoffs. That's where we're going. That's the trajectory that we're on. We're going to at least host a home playoff game. We win these next 2, we're going to be the 1 seed. So we need to play better these next 2 weeks.
Ryan Wood.
Aaron, you mentioned the defense. Is this a confidence-building night for that side of the ball, specifically with what it did in the red zone? I mean, is this the type of night where you can build on and kind of come together both sides of the ball with what they did?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think they were 1 for 5 in the red zone. That's winning football right there. Obviously forced a turnover, almost forced another one when they stripped Teddy there on one of those last drives. That's just really good football. They've done that, I think, over the last couple of years. Been really stout in the red zone, but tonight was extra special. I think it is a confidence game. I think Preston seems like he played really well, and Z playing through the thumb, and then KB seemed like he had a really good game. Adrian as well seemed like he was all over the place. So there was a lot of really good winning performances, I'm sure, on that side of the ball. We got cleaned a lot of things up on our side.
Mike Spofford.
Yeah, Aaron, for as much as you guys were struggling in the second half, just how big was that conversion to Lazard on the shallow cross? And can you just talk about how he gets so open on a play like that?
Yeah, he got picked for. I think it was Bobby, maybe. There was a natural rub there. So that wasn't really hard. I just tried to put it out there in front of him. And then the lizard was trying to jump over a guy who wasn't going low at him. But, yeah, that was an important play. And then Mason obviously drilling the big kick, staying perfect. Can't say enough good things about that guy.
Rob Domofsky.
Hey, Aaron, even on some of those drives that obviously didn't result in any points, you did get some decent runs from Aaron, start a few of those. When things aren't maybe in rhythm in the passing game, is that something you can rely on, especially if you have a lead where getting Jones, going like he was?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was going most of the night. I mean, we did a really nice job around the ball. We just, we didn't protect it as well as we have in the past. We didn't have guys open on time as we have for much of the year. So I feel like there were definitely a couple coverage sacks in there, which are, we just haven't had a lot of those. Been places to go with the football. They, didn't. They brought some pressure. Didn't really get home. But their sacks, I feel like, were on 4-man rushes and playing coverage and kind of locking guys down. So I've got to give them credit. But they played really soft, and that's why we ran the ball so efficiently most of the night, especially in the first half.
Mark Daniels.
Yeah, Aaron, I kind of wanted to ask you about their pressure package. Anything different about their rush that gave you as much trouble as we've seen this year?
No, I mean, I don't think it's a whole lot different. It's a strange defense. It's a lot of college principles you see at the college level with their 3-3-5 stuff. Very strange alignments. They played very soft in the secondary. A lot of too high. Even some, I don't know what you call it, when it's like 5 guys are high. The pressure package, I felt like we picked up pretty good. It was more of the the 4-man rush when we didn't have guys open that gave us problems.
Bill Huber.
Aaron, you're having one of those seasons where it's kind of a milestone every week for you, but 40 touchdowns, you're the first to do that 3 times. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah. It's good to get that while Pat's still young, because I'm sure he'll be bumping up that number pretty quick. But, yeah, I mean, that's anytime you do something that nobody's done before, it's pretty special. Understand the history of the league. And, it's a little bittersweet, though, Bill. Just tonight, as fun as the first couple quarters were, it's not going to be the easiest night of sleep thinking about the second half.
Tom Silverstein.